Hello, welcome back to another episode. So yeah, another week, another episode on the Mini. So since last time I have got a torch on. I've actually got a torch this time. Right then, have a look in here. So I've opened that hole up to expose the stronger bit in there, so let's get a plate in there. I've cut the bottom of the battery box ready for a repair panel. And if you can see inside here, the rest's not as bad as I thought all the way along, because basically someone's patched inside the boot floor. Just adjust this torch. Someone's patched inside the boot floor, but as you can see, they've left the rust there instead of cutting it back. So I've sort of cut the rust away now back to decent metal along there. You can see better there where I've actually just got a straight line. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to cut that bit off there as well. I'm going to clean all of this up all the way along, and I've got one hole over there to do. So I'm going to cut a patch for that, cut a patch for this battery box. There's two little bits, you can see it, a little triangle there and there. I'll cut them now, and then when the new rear valance goes on, be better. Where these holes were on the side here, I've just got my Christmas tree drill bit in there and made them nice round hole, so I can get a plate behind them to weld them in. So yeah, so I'm going to clean all these little joints back now, so I can get some weld all them little bits up, make some plates up, and yes, so that's the plan. So I'll get on with a bit and I'll cut back in once I've done a bit, and then hopefully a bit of progress. Right then, that wasn't the most pleasant thing in the world, but yeah, you get the gist of it. So I've cleaned down all these edges where it's going to be getting some welding done around this bit and all underneath there. Now you can't see very well around that patch. So I'm going to get some cardboard now, cut some templates for the little plate there. There's one little one here as well. I'll do them now. Yeah, that's just for the fog light, I think. Yeah, I'll do these ones along here first. I'll do the battery box, and I'll do the hardest one, which is the subframe one over there. Yeah, I'll get on with that. I'm not going to do the ones in the side just yet. I'll wait till I've got the car, till I'm working on the side of the car to do them. So yeah, and I've had a really good poke around underneath there, and that all seems okay. So yeah, I'll get these bits done now, and then get some rust treatment on things like inside here, bit of paint on them, and then I can start thinking about getting this rear valance on then, once I've got the subframe in. So yeah, it's going alright. Right, some little plates made up. So that's two little bits for here, one little bit for that. Where is it? A little hole there, one plate for the big hole there. So yeah, set the welder up. I'll get it going. By the way, I'm recycling some of the old metal from that old door skin. So that's them patches will be done then, and then I'll make and bend a little one for the bottom of the battery box, and then I'll make a start on that one for the subframe mount there. So yeah, get on with it. Right, you join me again. Got my welding overalls on. I have loads of respect now for people that weld these old cars all the time. So just to give you some idea of what it's like for someone that's not welded thin metal before, these two little patches come out okay, just to fill that out. A little patch down in there, and then that patch there. Took me probably 3 hours. Never welded thin old metal like this before, and I just kept blowing holes in it, chasing holes, cutting a patch out, putting a new patch in. So finally got the knack of it now, so hopefully going forwards things will improve. Downside is run out of time, so I've not even been able to do the battery box one, let alone the one down there, but all the ones along this area now are done. Thank God for that. So what I'm going to do before I leave now, because we're out of time, I've got some vac tan, I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just going to paint all underneath there. All the bits that I'd cut, I've sort of tacked so it's not flopping around, it's not loose. I've cut, so it's hard to explain. So if you can, you see that weld? See that weld there? So someone's put a patch there years ago. So what I've done now is just cut basically the old panel that was rusty underneath back to that weld, and then just tack welded it all the way along to make it strong. So the back end of the car now is strong. But there we go. Got really frustrated and pissed off, as you do. But there we go. I've learnt a lot. But that's the only way you can do it if you want to do these jobs. So I'm gonna, like I said, vac tan all the back of that now, which is just like it turns rust into black stuff. So I'll do that. So next episode I'll be aiming to get that patched, welded, and finally sort the subframe mount. So I'll show you the vac tan and I'll paint that, and then I'll get back with you. Right, so that's the vac tan painted on. I've even painted like all these bits, and I'll just re-grind them back once I'm ready to fit the valance. This stuff, some people don't like it, but I think it's great. Vac tan rust converter. Some people say it's not really worth using, but I've painted, I'll show you one day, I've painted one wheel on my van, transit van, steel wheels, and it was red with rust, and it just looked bad. So I had some of that left over from another project, painted it probably 2 months ago. It's been out in all weathers, and it's still in the same conditions as this is when this stuff dries. So it goes on a bit like milky consistency. Just brush it on, but you must put it in a little pot, like I use these little pots. Don't put your brush in the bottle, because it'll contaminate the bottle and then it's ruined. But this particular brand, I've used others, but this particular brand is the best one. And when that's dried, it'll take any paint. It's great stuff. So I'll get some weld through primer, and I'll prime inside all these bits and stuff like that. So I just wanted to show you the vac tan. So anywhere that's bare metal will be getting this stuff off me, because I think it's great. Then primer, and then a paint. To be honest, I'm thinking I'll probably paint underneath with hammerite. It does stick very well, unless someone can suggest something slightly better. But there we go, that's this week done. Next week, finish that battery box, and that's heel board subframe mount. That has to be done next week. Yeah, get them done. Probably won't do the balance, but we'll try and get to that another time. So yeah, if you like that one, give it a thumbs up. See you next time.